The following podcast is recommended for mature audiences only. The following podcast is recommended for adults only. Maturity is not a requirement.
Hello and welcome to episode 61 of Dear Download, a podcast where we get to share our most intimate and treasured memories of Download Festival. We'll talk about each year, the bands we saw, the bands we missed, and everything else noteworthy that happened across the weekend. Also, we'll touch upon any news, other festivals, and the music industry past, present and future. This episode is our second year of doing this. It's our Dear Download Awards. I am Adam, and as always, I'm here with Simon. How you doing, my man?
Hello, and Merry Christmas / whatever weird phase bit we're in now to you, sir.
Yes. Yeah, so we are recording this in that weird week in between Christmas where no one knows what day it is, what time it is, what's going on. But yeah, we hope you all had a good Christmas and a New Year. This is actually scheduled to be released on New Year's Day, so hope you have a good New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, 2024.
But yeah, it's been a hell of a end of year, hasn't it? We haven't had a proper episode since I think the beginning of November. I mean, we've had proper episodes, but we haven't. It's just been go. We've had some amazing episodes.
Yeah, we've been doing it in small. We're doing it in small chunks, haven't we? Because we've done the episode with everyone on. Me and Adam were like, right, we got these guys on this week, got this guy on next week, blah, blah, blah. So me and Adam feel like we've been doing it in small chunks rather than me and you just sitting down, talking to each other and actually doing like an episode where we just sit down and say stuff because we were having other people on, we're doing like special bits and all that sort of stuff. So it does feel good to sort of go back to the normal format and finally get round to doing the Dear Download Awards as well. So yeah, it's all good, mate.
Yeah, and it's been almost 2 months since I last asked you, how are you doing and what's going on in your life? Is there anything you want to tell the listeners?
Not really. Just, Christmas was great. Good fun. One of the best ones in a while. Obviously, it's been a fantastic year for me. It really has. Got married, done all the festivals, first year on YouTube, all that's gone fantastically. Obviously the podcast, another year in the bag, just growing and growing and growing. The Discord's amazing. It literally 2023 has been one of the best years for me in a long time. So much stuff happened. I'm excited to see what 2024 holds and where it's going to go and what we're going to do, basically. Yeah, it's been great.
Awesome. For me, same for me. With the kids, every year is completely different to the last at the moment. I'm sure a lot of people out there will know. But generally, yeah, like you said, with the podcast growing, and it's been an incredible year. The last couple of episodes we had were cool episodes to put out. Yeah. Really felt good to do them and felt good that we can do them now as well. That sort of thing. We can just message people and go, do you want to come on? And they'll go, yeah, all right, we'll come on.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, we're getting up there, getting part of the big boys, hopefully soon.
Yeah, people are taking notice, which is good. People in the industry are taking notice, which is even better.
Yes.
But
I have some massive news from back in early November that I just never got round to saying because of we've just been so busy doing other stuff. And I bought myself an umbrella, the first ever umbrella I've ever owned, and it's a very nice umbrella.
Is that the news?
No, I took a video of me opening it. I'm going to send it to you. I took this video ages ago, expecting to send it to you ages ago, but
okay, send it over, bruh.
It's on its way, and cool, right?
Oh yeah, very
what
cool.
Do you
I
mean?
love it.
What do you mean? Where's the sarcasm?
I love it. No, I love it.
Good.
I love it.
Yeah, I've never owned an umbrella before, and I thought I want an umbrella because this winter so far has been awful weather, really bad weather so far.
Oh yeah, really bad, awful.
But yes, so I bought that. I do have other news, which I think Simon was expecting, and I just wanted to do that sort of bait and switch there. But I got engaged. I got engaged at the beginning of November as well. Thank you.
Congratulations, my
Yeah, thank you.
friend. I have seen the ring as well, people, and it is very nice.
Yeah. So it was our. We've been together for a long time already. It was our 10-year anniversary on the 2nd of November, and I thought you might as well do it then. She wasn't really expecting it still, so it was still a nice surprise. So yeah, it was cool. We don't know when we're going to get married yet. It's probably going to be 2 or 3 years down the line still. Now we got kids. They cost a lot of money. We're not going to rush it and make ourselves skint. We waited long enough to do it. So what's another 2 or 3 years?
What I was going to say is, yeah, well done, man. I mean, it doesn't matter how late it is. It's all about, it actually happening. So, yeah, congratulations. I know that she loves the ring, so well done.
It's sky blue as well for Man City. So when I was going around to all the ring shops and they were saying, oh, what sort of thing are you thinking? And my response was always, well, you can probably see from my image we're a little bit different, a little bit alternative, but we're not so different like Gothic. Everything has to be skulls. So and that was sort of my go-to answer for that. But I said obviously she supports Man City. She has done all her life. So if it's sky blue is probably better than anything else I could get. So I think it's a sapphire. I was told what gem it was.
Yeah, it's nice. It's not really nice, honestly. It looks really, really good. The colour was really, really nice. Obviously, we went to the used.
We did, yeah.
When was that? Beginning of December. And I got to see the ring. And awesome, man. Good choice. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
It's always a nerve-wracking experience picking a ring because you think, oh, God, are they going to like it? They're going to, what I mean? Like you could pick the wrong ring and then they have to wear it on their finger for God knows how long, even though they don't like it, but they might tell you that they might like it. So I'm glad she actually likes it.
Yeah.
So well
does. Well, on that, the used was good as well. First gig I've been to in ages.
Really good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. They were really great. I thought the performance was excellent. So I'm even more hyped to see them at Download now because now I know how good they can be. I think Download will be an absolute blast. So fingers crossed they're not clashing with anyone that I really want to see. Because obviously I've already seen them now, but I would like to catch them again because I did think that was a really, really good show. So good stuff.
I'm not enjoying the price of alcohol at gigs anymore. It's they've crept up a lot since the last time I went to a gig. It was like £5.90 for a can, which
it's not.
It's probably
nice.
expected.
I can beat that.
Most people probably just know that by now and expect it. I was taken a little bit by surprise, and you end up spending 30-40 quid on top of your ticket price.
Dude, why do you think I'm not? If it was up to me, we'd be going to a gig like every week or every other week. But we can't afford to go to a gig every week or every other week. Like you said, you buy the ticket, which is what, depending on who you see, between £20 and £60. You're shoving another 40 quid on that just for the booze that you're doing, plus the petrol or wherever you're staying. It's not a cheap, not that it was never cheap, but it's not a sort of doable night out regularly now to go to gigs unless if you don't have mortgage payments or kids. I'm sure if you don't have those things, it's quite easy. But if you do, it's a real struggle to get to a lot of gigs these days. I always feel like I'm not going to enough.
Yeah, I think most gigs I would probably be spending between 80 to 100 quid per gig. Like you said, with the ticket and getting there. And it's just not doable, really.
Do you know what I was going to say, though? We were in TGI Fridays today, so my sister was staying last night with the kids. So we were like, let's go out. We'll go out in Gloucester. We'll get some lunch. So they were like, where do you want to go? So there was loads of places. We thought, TGI Fridays. Haven't been there in a long time. Probably about, 15 years, I think. The last one I went to was in Leicester Square. So we're talking a long, long time ago. And we got in there and I was like, I'll have a beer. It was £6.35 for a bottle of Budweiser.
Jesus.
And I just went, do you know what? I'll have a Dr. Pepper, please. I'm not even going to bother. And a Dr. Pepper was £4 for a can. £4 for a can.
Where was that? In Cheltenham or Gloucester?
Gloucester. So TGI's. But I'm guessing that's like pretty much their price across the board.
Yeah.
Because they're like a big franchise company. So yeah, Jesus. I was like, oh my God, I refuse to pay that much for a bottle of beer. I'm sorry. I know it's still £4 for a Dr. Pepper, but I'll just have the Dr. Pepper instead because that is ludicrous. Yeah. No way.
Yeah. Jesus.
So yeah, everywhere now it's just like it costs so much money to get drunk now unless you're drinking at home.
Yeah. I'm glad we've got a mortgage and and don't go out at all ever anymore. I don't want to be spending that much money all the time.
This is making us sound so lame, by the way. I'm just saying, me and you are just sitting here moaning about everything, saying we don't want to go to gigs anymore. We don't want to go out because it's too much money.
I don't care how lame I sound as long as I'm rich. Oh, not rich, but I'd rather be at home and lame than going to gigs and absolutely skint or in debt. But anyway, yes, moving on from that, another thing that came out probably, I think it was early to mid-November, was the Spotify Wrapped. And
yes,
I know I said I was going to send you the screenshots of the podcast stuff, and I never bloody did I? I mean, I don't think this year was as interesting stats as they put out last year, but we did have some really cool stuff in there. So for 563 people, we are in their top 10 podcasts.
Wow.
For 429 people, we're in their top 5 podcasts. And we are the top podcast for 147 people this year.
Wow.
And I think that's gone up massively from last year. I can't remember exactly what it was, but thank you all so much. I know we say thank you a lot, but I want to keep saying thank you because, like you said earlier, we're just growing and growing and growing, and it does feel good. It does feel good for where we're getting.
It feels great, yeah. We appreciate it. Whenever we look at these things, even though it kind of feels like it's, happening at the rate it's supposed to happen, every time we look at these stats, still we and go, what on earth is happening here? How has this happened?
Yeah.
So we're still blown away by it. So yeah, like Adam said, thank you so much to everyone because it does mean a lot. And I'm really glad that you guys continue to listen and that all you new people just keep coming. Fantastic.
Yeah. If you are new from the last couple of episodes, thank you so much. And thank you for sticking around if you're listening to this one as well. Because
it's only going to get better as well. It's only going to get better. We're not going to go downhill. We can only get better. We can't get worse.
So, the Dear Download Awards. I think we annoyed some people by with some of the nominations for this. But it's what we could do with the time we had, I've said, I think I put in the Discord, I don't think I actually said it in an episode before, but Simon has to calm me down sometimes. I get a bit too carried away with some of my ideas. One thing I wanted to do was to get, so all the guests we had on the last episode, I wanted to get their best albums of the year, best set at download, and they would end up being the nominations, and then put them for you guys to vote on. But he actually basically said to me, "Stop it. That's too much work."
Well, no, yeah. I mean, I'm your hype man, where sometimes I have to hype you up, but sometimes I have to go the opposite way and reel you back in as well.
Yeah.
So I'm polar opposites for you. Sometimes I'm like, "Come on, man, yeah," like get you hyping you up, and then other times I'm like, "Whoa, calm down. We got to reel this back to the beginning first. You're going too far, way too quickly."
Yeah.
But like it's evolved since last year, and this is a jumping off point. This is only the second year we've done it. I still think this is an amazing thing to do. I don't see any other podcasts doing this sort of stuff. And we're still giving people the opportunity to vote. We can't have 90 albums for people to vote on because that's just not how awards work. That's just going to have, there'll be no numbers, no percentages, nothing would match up. So we have to put some albums and forget other albums because we can't put everything into them. Plus, we haven't listened to every single album that's come out. These are the ones that have been picked that we know we've talked about, or we've heard you guys talk about, or have been, popular for some reason, or not so popular for some reason. So we've tried to pick them on the more relative points rather than us just picking some random album you guys haven't heard of. And me and Adam saying, well, that's our favourite album, even though none of you lot have listened to it.
Yeah.
Because that's not how an award show works. So we tried our best with this to do it, and I think it's evolved much better than last year's has. And again, next year we'll add stuff in, tweak stuff a little bit, and every year it will just keep getting better and better. So yeah, but yeah, this is still really good. I'm really excited for everyone to hear the nominations and then what actually won. So
yeah, me too. And a big shout out to Stu here for putting it all together, because I said I didn't really want to do that because it was a pain in the ass last year. He's obviously more knowledgeable than I am about the internet and how things work, because it seemed quite simple to do, but I just didn't know that you could do it. I think he just did a Google Forms thing.
Yeah,
but I didn't know.
I don't think actually I've even given Stu enough props for what he's been doing recently, because he really has been leading things on the Discord and really taking the reins off of me and Adam and really concentrating and doing everything. So big up to Stu as always, but he has done absolutely fantastic work this year and really helped to build the Discord into a whole different beast from what me and Adam originally had it as.
Yeah.
So everyone should go give a big up to Stu, or go and subscribe to his YouTube channel, because I'm sure he'd love that as well as a thank you. So
Yeah, definitely. SMTV on YouTube.
SMTV. Go and check him out.
Okay, so yeah, we'll get into it now. We've got 8 categories coming up. We will read out the nominations and then announce who the winner was, and then go into a little bit more what we think about it, or what we think about the winners. If we personally would have put somebody else above, but this was all voted by you guys, the listeners, not just us. So not necessarily our choices, but these are the people who won overall.
Yep, your choices. Yeah, your choices, not ours.
So we're going to start with best up and coming band.
There's a little asterisk with this. So it doesn't have to be a new band, because some bands have been around for a while, but they haven't come into the general consciousness of, their genre, or they haven't got big. So we think that these bands are upcoming bands that have grown a lot since whenever it was that they started, and now they are sort of finally being recognised for what they're doing, basically. So they could be a brand new band, there could be a band that's going for a while, but hasn't quite got up to the standards of where they should be. But we feel like these bands are sort of, glowing up, as we would say. So, becoming what they should be.
So the nominations for best up and coming band is Earn, Harriet, Soul Glow, As Everything Unfolds, and Seething Akira.
And the winner is Earn, with 45.2% of the votes. So a very, very big chunk. Yeah, great. I think that Earn are absolutely fantastic. Brilliant band, brilliant prog band, really great. Obviously, their new album, produced by the singer of Gojira. You can tell that the production, their work is there. I watched them live at Bloodstock. They were absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, I'm really glad that they won this. Although all of those bands are very good, they won this by quite a percentage. So I do feel like people are finally catching on to Earn and going, do you know what? This is actually really sick. So yeah, as voted for by you guys.
All down to Chids, I think. The Chids was going on about
Chids introduced me to them.
Yeah.
So,
but I'd never really heard of Earn before Chids mentioned them to me. I've tried listening to them once or twice, I think, and I didn't hate it. It's not. I'd watch them if I had the chance to live. I'd want to give them a few more listens, but it wasn't necessarily my thing to start with. But I could listen. It was all right, I think.
Okay, good. Well, the fans picked, so there you go. Best upcoming band 2024, 2023, and we're already in 2024, 2023. It is Earn. So yeah, awesome.
Okay, next up, we're going to do best single of 2023. And we added quite a lot of singles to this because, like we said, we knew...
Good year.
Yeah, it was a fantastic year for music, generally.
Very good year, yeah.
But I think there was a lot to choose from as well, so we wanted to add a lot in here. So, we have, for the nominations, Knocked Loose, Deep in the Willow, The Used, Giving Up, Devil Driver, Through the Depths, Falling in Reverse, Watch the World Burn, Atreyu, Drowning, Asking Alexandria, Dark Void, Enter Shikari, It Hurts, Avenged Sevenfold, Nobody, Sleep Token, The Summoning, and Blink-182, One More Time.
And the winner, with 31.3% of the votes, is Sleep Token, The Summoning.
Yeah.
And it's like I said about the album, don't love the album, but it's easily one of the best Sleep Token songs, hands down. So I can understand why it won, but the competition was stiff because... There is a lot of good singles. Like, all of those singles are bangers. Like, there's not one song in there that is not a banger. So that was a really difficult pick. I didn't vote for Sleep Token, by the way, with my vote. But I'm happy that Sleep Token did win because, obviously, I mean, they're blowing up massively at the moment, but it is a very, very good song.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they won.
Did you vote for It Hurts by Enter Shikari?
I think I did, yeah. Because that was my that come up as my most listened to song of the entire year on my Spotify Wrapped. So I was like, I like all these songs, but I really love that song. Yeah. So yeah, that's fine. It's good. It got quite a few votes, so I was happy.
Yeah. Well, I completely forgot about that album. And until you said about it in one of your most recent YouTube videos. And I was like,
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed that. Or not all of
Yeah.
it, but I enjoyed a lot.
No, I
of the
remember you
songs.
saying you listened to it and you were like, "Yeah, I thought that was really, really good." And I was like, "Yeah, awesome." But you probably just the amount of stuff we've listened to this year, you probably just
Yeah,
went back over your head again.
Yeah, so
after-
I was like,
yeah.
I think I listened to it the next day at work. There was a few albums you mentioned in that. But yeah, Sleep Token, The Summoning, I can't say I'm a fan. I probably listened to it when it first came out. I'm not the biggest fan of Sleep Token, but obviously the people voted, and it was by a large margin as well.
Yeah, that won by quite a lot. The other one's got a lot of votes as well, but this one won by quite a mileage. So yeah, but it is, I agree, it's a very, very good song.
Next up, we want to go to the best download performance of 2023, specifically non-headlining bands, because the same as last year, we know exactly what would happen if we added the headliners in here. No one would get a sniff in.
Yeah.
So we have Ghost, Parkway Drive, Electric Callboy, Skindred, or Lorna Shore.
And the winner with 34.4% of the votes is Ghost.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
It was a fantastic performance. I mean, Parkway Drive, to be fair, and the votes weren't far behind. I know I'm not a huge fan, but I know a lot of people really loved that performance. But I do think, like I've said probably multiple times, that Ghost show was a main headliner act on the second stage. It was absolutely fantastic. They really did kill it. So yeah, good things to come from Ghost, I'm sure. I haven't liked any of the stuff they've released recently. I don't like any of their covers at all. I don't think they're very good, personally. But I do love Ghost as a band, and their performances are great. So yeah, really happy they won. That's a hard one. This year's download, there was so many good performances that we watched. I feel like I watched so many bands at this year's download. It was really hard to pick. But some of those were definitely the standout ones. Lorna Shore were incredible. I didn't watch Skindred or Electric Callboy, so I can't say. But yeah, it was just such a great year for performances. But I'm glad that Ghost won, because no matter what you say about them, if you're not a fan, performance-wise, they are very, very good.
Yeah, and everyone's saying that. I'm in the boat of not being a fan. I don't dislike them, but I don't really follow them. But you can't contest it. You can't argue that they are going to be one of the next headliners. Yeah.
So far, Adam has liked none of the winners of these, of all of these.
Well, I mean, we've got best album of the year coming up. My top 5 albums, not a single one of them are in this list of the year. So I mean, I'll tell you what they are later if you want to know.
Okay, we'll do that after.
Yeah, but we're going to we did add best headliner performance of 2023 into this as well. Bring Me the Horizon. That was pretty much the only nomination. Obviously, everyone knows Metallica and Slipknot were there, but there's no point in trying to suspense it.
There's no suspense. No, I mean, with 82.8% of the votes, Bring Me the Horizon coming in over Metallica and Slipknot. I mean, look, the two Metallica performance, the first night was quite good. The second night was not so good. Slipknot were pretty good. Not the best Slipknot performance I've seen by a long shot. Still not bad, but, decent. But let's be honest, Bring Me the Horizon absolutely shredded that festival this year. They were the main talking point. They were absolutely phenomenal. Talk about all the hype for it, and they really did, exceed the expectations of everyone. Even people that don't like Bring Me the Horizon were like, do you know what? That was pretty good, and it was incredible. So yeah, well deserved. They were absolutely tore it apart without a doubt. Loved every single second of their performance. Thought it was fantastic. Really excited for them to come back to Download one day and see what that performance will be like. I have a feeling this is going to be like a Slipknot 2009 thing where it just won't be topped ever, because it was such a special moment in time. Because like Slipknot 2009 was like the height of Download performances for me, where it was just like this, where it's so special. It's their first time headlining. It's all culminating in this sort of one show that everyone is really excited for. And I feel like this had so many comparisons with the Slipknot 2009 show for me. It's the closest thing I think that, a few of the headliners have got to being that good. That's what I feel anyway. But this was so good. So good.
It was. I mean, I didn't know many of their songs going into it. I've said a few times. I tried listening to them before download this year. I couldn't get into them. There's only like 2 or 3 songs that I actually knew that for when I saw them, but they just blew me away. You know, it's hard to do that as well. When you're hearing songs that you don't actually know, it's hard to actually take them in and enjoy them as well. And but yeah, they just did that. I don't know about what you just said about the how it's going to be hard to top. Slipknot, I don't think Slipknot really changed what they do on stage much since they started.
True.
Bring Me the Horizon, I think, are on that next level, and they're going to be thinking about how to do it, how to make it better every time. But we'll see.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah. I just think it was a very special moment captured, you know, like maybe the performance will be better, but maybe the feeling for me won't be quite as good to see them again. I'll still be very excited, but yeah, I feel like this was really a culmination of a lot of naysayers, and they certainly proved everyone wrong. So I was happy about that. But yeah, they were fantastic.
Yeah. Well, here's a question I don't think I've asked before. What year do you think they'll be coming back? Are they going to just take 1 year off and come back the year for 2025?
Yeah, 25 or 26, definitely. One of those years. Well, actually, I mean, I think Andy's already said 2025 is already booked headliner-wise. Obviously, we don't know what that is.
Yeah. But he could have asked Bring Me the Horizon backstage this year and say, come back in 2025.
Yeah, could have. Yeah. Oh, that would be lovely. That would be.
Yeah.
For me, that would be great. Yeah, if they could get Bring Me the Horizon, get Korn to finally headline, get Nickelback to play the other day, I'll be a very, very happy boy.
You heard it here first.
Bring me Korn and Nickelback.
Somebody write it down in the Discord. I'll pin it, and we can see for 2025.
If this festival never gives Korn a headline slot, it is absolutely criminal. Absolutely criminal.
I don't know. I don't think they should anymore. But we've gone over that. We've gone over that loads. We're not going over that now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, beat me up over that.
Let's not start an argument. Let's not start an argument during the awards ceremony.
Okay. Where should we go next? Next, we want to go to the Best UK Festival 2023. And the nominations were Download, Bloodstock, 2000 Trees, Reading and Leeds, and Arctangent.
And of course, the winner, a bit obvious as this is a Dear Download podcast, with 78.1% of the votes, Download Festival. I would say yes. Out of the festivals that I went to, which was Download, Bloodstock, and Trees, I can't say about Reading and Leeds and Arctangent. I would say Download was performance-wise definitely the best. I had more fun at Bloodstock, and Trees was very good, but I do think Download was the best out of those three for festival-wise. So I'm not being biased towards Download. I will say if Bloodstock and Trees was better. I had fun at both. I had more fun at Bloodstock, but as a festival, Download was really, really good this year. Thoroughly enjoyed everything about it.
Definitely. I was actually surprised by this one. I thought Bloodstock was going to beat Download, even though, like you said, we are a Download Festival podcast, pretty much. But it just seems like most people who have done both prefer Bloodstock. So it just I think it comes down to who didn't go to Bloodstock this year, probably voted for Download. But I don't know. That'll be interesting. Let us know. Talk to us in the Discord. Let us know if you went to both and which one you voted for. I'll be interested to see.
Do you think if we took 10 people that went to Download and 10 people that went to Bloodstock and said, right, but you guys vote, do you think it would be different?
I think it would. I think Bloodstock, because we've said so many times, so many people have said to us, if you go to Bloodstock, you never look back. You can always prefer it over Download. I don't know how true that is for everybody. Could be confirmation bias.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was surprised, but I mean, I was obviously glad that Download won. Download was amazing this year.
Yeah, really good.
It stays as amazing as it was. It doesn't get too... No, that's fine.
Adam really wants to go off on things right now.
I do.
We've got the whole half of the year to go through all those things, so don't worry. We'll get to all of our thoughts and changes and things and all that sort of stuff building up to the big boy of the year Download. So we'll get to all of that stuff because we probably have a lot of thoughts and a lot of things that me and Adam can delve way deep into, but that will come. We can't do that now.
No,
we'll move on.
Cool. Okay, we are down to 3 awards left. We're down to 3 awards remaining. we want to go to the worst album of the year next. I don't think many people would have the balls to do this and just say straight up what the worst album was and give them an award. But we said earlier, we just do what we want to do. So the nominations for worst album of 2023, and I think this might be where we annoy people, was Avenged Sevenfold, Life Is But a Dream, Code Orange, The Above, Metallica, 72 Seasons, Steel Panther, On the Prowl, and Corey Taylor, CMF2.
And the winner with 40.6% of the votes is Steel Panther's On the Prowl, which I have listened to, and it's very, very bad.
Is it? I've not listened to it.
I mean, I'm not the hugest fan of them anyway, but I mean, the whole thing now is just so stale and just done. Like, it's done. It was done a long time ago for me. I'm not sure how long those sort of acts. I know. Sorry if you're a Steel Panther fan. I never have been. I heard this album was bad, so I went and listened to it. I have listened to all of these albums. I thought Corey Taylor CMF2 was probably not as bad as it was said it was. Code Orange, The Above was considering I loved the last album so much. We put Metallica 72 Seasons and Life Is But a Dream. They're definitely not my worst, but they're in there because they've polarized a lot of people.
Yeah.
So they're very Marmite albums. So I know a lot of people love Life Is But a Dream, but I know a lot of people really don't like it. And the same for 72 Seasons. I really liked 72 Seasons and I loved Life Is But a Dream. But we had to be fair to everyone for the people that liked them and didn't like them. So that's why, and it's been such a great year for albums, we didn't even feel like we had to include those in the best albums, because I feel like the best albums list is a great list anyway.
Yeah,
so
it's a great
that's
list.
our reasoning for putting those two in there. Because I don't think they're half as bad as what some people think. But yeah, Steel Panther On the Prowl is very, very bad. So it wins by quite a mile as well.
So it's just a pure, I don't know, just bluntness the way you said that. It's very, very bad. And
yeah, it's not good.
And I think this is probably a good point to say. We're going to try and send awards to these people, just a laminated bit of paper with our name and the award they want and their name. We said this last year. I don't know why I just didn't get around to doing it. But I didn't. I'm going to try and do it this year if I have time. I find I have an idea. It sits in my head for a few days. It's a great idea for a few days, and then all of a sudden I'm like, no, that's not a good idea. Why did you think that was a good idea? So if I do it quickly, I will do it. If I leave it a few days, then I won't.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I think that those are all fair for worst album. But yeah, I'm glad that one.
Send it to him. I have not listened to Steel Panther On the Prowl. I think I've listened to any of their albums. I have liked some of their singles, but yeah, I was never really into the whole vibe that they have. And like you said, they just seem to have become stale. They haven't changed. They haven't evolved. I suppose you can't if you're a parody band.
Oh, you can, I guess.
You can.
There's always ways of every band evolving.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're not good or fun or they're incredible musicians. I'll say that much. And I know they're very popular, and they're apparently a very good live band. But
yeah, I've seen them live a few times.
It's a bad album. So it's fair, I think. It's fair.
Cool. So next, the penultimate award will be Best Album of 2023. This is where the meat and potatoes are. I don't know why I said that. Is that even a phrase? I don't know.
It is.
It is.
Yeah,
Good.
It's a phrase.
And the nominations for Best Album of 2023 are In Flames, Foregone, Bury Tomorrow, The Seventh Son, Enter Shikari, A Kiss for the Whole World, The Used, Toxic... Sorry.
The Used, I didn't know about that one. I'll check that album out, man. Toxic Ba-Ba-Ba. Oh, it's wicked. Is that a remix album, is it?
The Used, Toxic Positivity, Sleep Token. Stop doing this. Sleep Token. Take Me Back to Eden. Thy Art is Murder. Godlike. VV Neon Noir. And Holding Absence, The Noble Art of Self-Destruction.
And the winner is, with 25% of the votes, In Flames, Foregone. which
Yeah.
I think is a excellent. I think all of these albums are very, very good. Like, this isn't even, all of the best albums for the year. These are just the ones that we picked to be in there.
Yeah.
But like Adam said before, it's been a very, very good year, especially for albums. So this was a real tough one because I could have easily voted for any of these albums and been perfectly happy with my vote. But I am glad that people have recognised that In Flames Foregone is just an excellent metal album. It really is very, very good all the way through. But I think they're all good and they all have their merits. So any of these could have won. But I'm glad that In Flames Foregone did because it's excellent and I've listened to it probably over 20 times this year. It's a very, very good album.
Yeah.
Like, the singles, even more than that. But the album as a whole, just the album I've listened to at least 20 times. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I've listened to it absolutely loads. It was well up there in my Spotify rap thingy. I can't remember how high or which categories it was in, but yeah, I forgot because it was released way back in like January, wasn't it? And so I forgot how much I listened to it at the time, and for it to be up there in that was a bit of a surprise. But yeah, absolutely amazing album. I just keep going back to it. I've listened to it a few times.
It's got a lot of re-listen value, that album. I think people will just continue. If you look on their Spotify as well, so many of the new songs are just up in their like top 10 already. It's fantastic to see such a new album from such an old band like pushing a lot of the old songs out, which is quite refreshing. I like when that happens.
Yeah, and I've said that a while ago. Like, it must be so hard. Like, when a band comes onto the scene and they just completely blow up, it's hard for them, even like 10, 20 years down the line, to knock down those older songs and actually make better songs that will sort of replace them. So you just sort of...
it's like, I mean, if you look at probably all of the bands that I love and you go into their top 10 songs on Spotify, you'll probably get two of my three favourite songs, but it certainly won't be my favourite songs in the top 10. Certainly it'll be the most popular.
Yeah.
But for me, the best songs are never in the top 10 songs on Spotify, which is whenever I recommend someone a band, I'm always worried that they're not going to listen to the songs that I've said. They're only going to listen to the top 10. And most of the top 10s are, good songs, but they're not necessarily like you said, the meat and potatoes of the band, like the real good, the best tracks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a bit weird when you go on some and you think those are good songs, but they're definitely not the best songs from that band.
Yeah.
No, I could go through the albums and show you ones that are like way better. So yeah, I don't feel like that does it justice, but they are the most popular ones, so they're going to be at the top. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm glad they won that one as well.
Yeah, definitely. Very good. If you haven't listened to it, where have you been? Go listen to In Flames Foregone. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And the Swedish, of course. So, of course.
There you go. Ticks one of your boxes, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think maybe 4 out of my top 5 albums were Swedish bands, maybe.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, something like that. And we have one final award. It doesn't have any nominations, just a winner. And Simon will explain.
Oh, so this is the Rock Icon Award. Explain. Me and Vicky were talking about the other day. She was like, she loves the Daleks. She thinks they're really cute, and she loves when they're confused and they don't understand and they like spin round. Explain. She loves when they do that. She's like, oh yes, they're saying explain again. She likes it even more than exterminate. I want to get her a Dalek t-shirt that doesn't say exterminate, it just says explain. She would love it. Explain. Sorry for you non-Doctor Who fans about that. It's just too guys nerding out. So the Rock Icon Award we give to, I don't know, a great contribution to rock music, metal, just the whole genre. Overall, a band that has been in the consciousness for a long time, or just been popular and been consistent, or just added a lot to the whole genre of what we listen to. No matter what subgenre that would be. So shall I say it?
Yeah.
So we have voted for, because they have released an album this year, so they're in the consciousness as we speak. We've given the Rock Icon Award 2023 to Blink 182, because me and Adam have actually talked about them a lot this year, because the new album coming out. We've gone back through, listened to a couple of old albums that we both like, and they have contributed for so long over such a time and still managed to be massively popular, selling out shows. I know they dipped a little bit when Tom left, obviously, but I do think that the new album is really good, and I do think that people now still know Blink-182 songs 20 years later. I feel like we all sort of grew up within that time where they were always played on Kerrang. You know, they've always been one of the biggest, most influential pop punk bands. They're still influencing bands now. I just think that they're so recognizable as people. They all have their separate thing, but when they come together and do Blink, it's always huge. So I feel like they do deserve the nomination of being a rock icon, because they are, without a doubt, a rock icon band. They're huge, massive, absolutely giant. So I think it's good that we just recognise that Blink are awesome and really cool. And we have ended up talking about them quite a lot this year in reference to other bands. And I think a couple of their albums came up when we done their 20 years and 10 years back as well.
Yeah.
So we listened to a couple of albums for that. So they've just been in our consciousness, as well as blowing up with a new album. So yeah, very, very good.
Yeah, definitely. I don't really have anything that's better to add to that, or not better, but even to add to that on any kind of lines. You hit every nail on the head.
Yeah. So yeah, go and listen to Blink-182 and remember how good they actually are, because they are very good.
Well, I mean, the first single they brought out from the new album, One More Time, was definitely made me a little bit emotional, I would say.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Definitely hits you in the feels, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when you know all the stuff that's like happened to them as people, and you know all the lyrics in there. You're thinking, oh, it's quite nice that they're just mentioning all the things that, you know, they used to be really tight, and then they all broke up and not talk to each other, and they've come back, and there's so much has happened in between. I think it's great that a band actually recognised all their sort of faults and then put it into a song, which is fantastic. You know, all the stuff you've done wrong, all the stuff you've mistreated each other, you know, you should have paid more attention, been less of an arsehole, basically. And they managed to put it all in quite an emotional song, which I think is actually really cool.
Yeah.
And I was also actually really gutted that they didn't get announced for Download, because I was pretty sure that they would be definitely one of the ones in contention, because they're so sort of big and back now. But then when I think about it, when they got back together, Download probably already would have booked the headliners slightly before that.
Yeah.
So I feel like they wouldn't have had a chance. I mean, there's always a chance they could get on to next year's, but I thought that would have just been the icing on the cake for them to be announced as a Download headliner. So I'm kind of gutted that they weren't, because I feel like that would have sold out the day entirely just by that one band. Like, you know, you wouldn't need anyone else. You could just have Blink playing and it would sell 80,000 tickets, no problem. Yeah. Easy.
And the fact that they've never played Download before is just insane.
Mind-blowing. I played Reading and Leeds loads of times, played loads of other festivals, do you know what I mean? Like, but just never played Download. It's actually quite insane that they haven't managed to get them once.
Yeah. But hopefully, maybe next year. I think next year's going to be massive.
Fingers crossed.
I really think it is.
From what everyone is saying, and from the tweets and stuff that Andy's put out to say, like, next year's just unbelievable. I know we would say that about every year, but I feel like they're saying it so far in advance that if I'm not blown away by like 2025's lineup, I'm going to throw my toys out of the pram, because I've been promised something special, so it better be special.
Okay, well, there was one or two other questions on there involving Stu. He put them in. So again, thank you, Stu, for putting it all together. But yes, so the biggest winner of the whole thing is SMTV Stu, the greatest admin. And 100% of the votes was yes. So, Stu, you'll be receiving your award in the post. I don't know your address yet. You have to give me your address.
But also, I feel like all of you need to give Stu a little bit of shit as well, because the question right at the top is so like he's talking down to everyone. You will be asked a number of questions in the following format, multiple choice. Do you understand? Yes or no? I was like, that is amazing. So, go and say how amazing he is, but also give him a little bit of shit for treating you like a child.
Yeah.
But I laughed at that. I thought that's very good.
Yeah, he had a picture of himself as well in it somewhere, didn't he? I'm sure he did. But
yeah, he did.
Yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Like we said, we're going to try and send these to people. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this episode. A shorter one this episode, but we did just give you a 3-hour, 18-minute episode. So yeah, can't win all of them. Can't do it all the time. Thank you all so much for listening. It's been a really cool episode, this one. We hope you've had an amazing year, just as much as we have, an amazing Christmas, and we hope you have an absolutely amazing New Year as well.
No, that's it really. I hope all of you have had a fantastic year, as always. Like Adam just said, like we have. We had such a great time meeting you all at Download Festival. Really looking forward to doing another meetup and seeing you all at next year's festival and other festivals as well. And yeah, thank you so much for listening, all the support. Honestly, it doesn't go unnoticed. We're always amazed at how much it's blowing up. And yeah, thanks again to Stu for just being like the best support for us, and a great member of the team. And yeah, we've had a blast. And 2024 will be bigger and better. We can guarantee it.
But before we go, we have to say a massive thank you to all the legends who are our Patreons, and actually have them up straight away. I did it before we started recording this time. Normally, I have to get Simon to sit there for 2 or 3 minutes while I get the website up.
The funny thing is, he knows he has to do this, but he's obviously thinking about other stuff, so he just never does. And then he goes, "Oh yeah, forgot to do that."
Yeah. No, so I made a notes template around episode like 30, and I never use it. I think I must have used it and didn't like just copy it and then do the notes on the copied one. I used it for an episode and never went back to creating it, putting it back to a blank template so I can do notes. So I haven't had a notes template or any notes at all for the podcast for a long time. A very long time.
Quite a while.
But anyway,
Can you tell he's from the West Country?
Cool. Yes, our absolutely legendary Patreons: James Harrison, Alexander Toon, Dan Jacobs Cross, Dean Delicado, George Butler, Christopher Hambridge, Henry Richardson, Ben Saccone, and Scott Seager. You all are absolutely massive legends. Thank you so much for supporting us. If anybody else wants to join the Patreon, you can find a link to it in our link tree and in the episode description. You can find it all there. Anything you want. Email address, Patreon, social medias, everything you could possibly need. Simon, do you want to tell everyone about your YouTube?
Sure. I'm sure you already know, but if you haven't, please come and subscribe to my YouTube. This has been a massive, honestly, the biggest year for me. It's been insane. My first full year on YouTube. It's been insane. And hopefully, fingers crossed, it's only going to get bigger and better next year. But yeah, come and say hello. Come and subscribe, like, whatever you want. But yeah, Simon Bond on YouTube. Come and check me out. And if you want to add me on the socials, I'm Fonzie_Simon on Instagram.
Awesome. And that's it for us. So thank you so much for listening. Simon, how do I do it? What do I do? Simon, will you? I've forgotten. I should have my notes ready, shouldn't I?
Come on, you know how to do. You've done this 60 times.
Yeah, so it's a goodbye from Simon.
Goodbye.
And a goodbye from me. Goodbye.